Hello, and welcome again. This is J Nova, Jesse for short. My first book review, Dracula by Bram Stoker, or Bram, or Brom, or Stoker, or Stoker. It's kind of like Mark Millar, except one of them wrote Dracula, and the other one's a talentless hack. Aside from that, I really love this book. I didn't read it. I listened to its audiobook. Give me a break. I'm ADD, ADHD, or whatever you want to call it. I do 28 things at once to keep myself entertained so the voices don't come back. I was through the whole time. I had headphones on while listening to it while playing Pokemon Blue. That's another review. It's shortly coming down your way, so enjoy. Still without internet. Hopefully it'll be back. Anything else? This book was fantastic. I downloaded it. It's what do you call it? Public domain. You know, kind of like Night of the Living Dead. It's public domain, and it was read by several other people who did great jobs. Some people did better than most. Some people actually did voices for Dracula, which I like that. You change the tone when a person's speaking. And the fun thing about this book, the whole book is in a first-person point of view by at least 5 people, and those people are, in following are, Jonathan Harker, Lucy, Madam Mina, or Mina Murray, later on, Mina Harker, because they get married, Dr. Stewart, and Abraham Van Helsing. 5 people. The only 2 people or 3 people I can think in this story that don't really contribute in the first person point of view is, but though we do get in dialogue conversations later on, things are referred in the diary while they were happening in the moment. Whatever that makes sense. So, of course, there is Renfield, crazy man, and the other one is Quincy Morris, the Texan, the American character in here, and Dracula himself. Fun fact: Dracula's original title, name for him was going to be Count Wampyr. If that sounds familiar, I think some other people use that in other vampires fiction because Wampyr sounds very familiar. It sounds Wampyr. It sounds like some type of monster in Castlevania. Probably is. It's kind of fun fact that Castlevania, the video game series, ties into the novel as well. With like Castlevania Legends, are also known as Castlevania Next Generation or Castlevania Bloodlines. I think not Castlevania Legends. Castlevania Bloodlines and Castlevania New Generation. It's the same game, different titling for European and Genesis versions. And probably one of the goriest Castlevania games on the Sega Genesis, surprisingly. Of course, because Sega always has to be extreme. But aside from that, they tie in that Quincy Moore's son, John Moore's a blah blah blah. Which that Dracula from this Dracula from the Castlevania to this novel are a lot different. It's like the Dracula in the games is a lot more kind of like super powerful, godlike, demigod-like, energy blasting, transforming, a legion of nameless mythology creatures on his beck and call. Well, this Dracula, he does everything himself. Of course, he has like wolves and bats to his cry, but you know, those are minor minions. It varies, but aside from that, the story in itself is incredibly strong. It's a slow burn, and you know, if you know me, I do like a slow burn and a story. Story in itself, it's all in first person, as I said before. I like that. You know, really deep dive into the characters. They have great little quirks to them, you know. And, like, you know, something that Stephanie Myer wouldn't know. That's my only sparkly vampire joke right there, okay? It's just amazing how the vampire has swung to one edge to another to To be this just monster to something that 13-year-old girls fantasize. It's quite strange. But from here, I remember seeing the Francis Ford Coppola film. You know, the supposed adaptation to adaptation to this book to that. Of course, there is Nosferatu and Bela Lugosi Dracula. I think I remember seeing Bela Lugosi Dracula. I was going to do a riff on that with John, but he had to puss out for some reason. We got 10 minutes in. You like Dracula? I mean, Jonathan Harker knocks on the door. Boop, he had to go. But aside from that, you owe me a riff, John. Red, you blonde-haired bastard. Aside from that, I've seen Nosferatu. I enjoyed that. I also saw the behind-the-scenes kind of quote-unquote what really happened in Shadow of the Vampire with William Dafoe, and yeah, that was a good one. I like that. But it's amazing. You can't not talk about vampires while not talk about Dracula, because he's the Duke of Vampires. He's the King of Vampires, and I probably it's kind of neat. You've probably seen James Rolfe's Vampire vs. the Wolfman, which they never really fought and stuff like that, except like some horrible, shitty knockoff films that done that. Where was I going? The Francis Ford Coppola film. Yeah, I remember seeing that quite a bit. I enjoyed it. I really did like what the fuck his name is. Plays Commissioner Gordon, and he plays Sirius Black, and you know who I mean. He's a fantastic actor. I'm gonna kick myself for getting his name, but I remember him. He did a fantastic job as Dracula. He really played a more sensitive and humanistic kind of vampire who's regretful for being such a beast and blah blah blah, sensitive Twilight bullcrap. Dracula in the book is essentially just a monster at his heart, really, and he is very self-righteous in his own way. He's very diabolical. Had a stroke. The only there's probably like one or two signs through the whole book that he has any shred of humanity, and that was during while he was stopping the brides from feeding off of Jonathan Harker, because that was the meal for himself, you know. He gives them a child in a sack, like a fucking little kid in a sack, and says, feed on this. And she says, you never love. And he says, I can too love. And that's the only one on top of my head I can remember, but all I remember from the Francis Ford one is just he was just crying, and not saying that's a bad thing. That's the reason why I go to Anne Rice to have the conflicted vampire. Dracula's supposed to be this, you gotta love to hate him. And I'm remembering right now from the Francis Ford, she's dining with Mina, and it's very much, he turned it into this trashy Harlequin novel bullcrap, and he turned Van Helsing into an asshole, while calling Lucy the devil's whore and stuff like that, which never appeared in the book. And I'm feeling I need, before I really like condemn Francis Ford Coppola for making changes, or probably that was a studio, I don't know. The man's a genius. He made The Godfather and The Outsiders and whatnot. He made the film versions, right? It was S.E. Hilton that wrote The Outsiders. But anyway, ain't talking about greasers. The reason I got in here because I want to learn more about the roots of Dracula and stuff like that, because I've always been fascinated with vampires. The first vampire film I think I remember seeing was maybe Lost Boys, or I can't remember. I probably contradicted myself in earlier videos, but I'll probably will make a list of top 10 favorite vampire movies and werewolf movies. I'm a macabre flavor type. My favorite musician is like Alice Cooper, so though don't see me have nail polish and like reading fucking black nail polish and eyeliner and reading fucking Sandman. Though I did enjoy the book. And Francis Coppola didn't change the feel of the character Dracula. He also changed the ending quite a bit, which I'm not. all I'm gonna say, it's quite anticlimactic if you've seen the film before, and it's just, and it tried to make it really kind of feel like that whole scene between. I know it's years before. The only thing I can equate the scene to where Dracula's running away in his crate, getting back to his castle before the sun rises or sun goes down or whatever. It was during Frodo being stabbed by the Bringwraiths. There's that kind of sense of urgency. But it was just a total twist on the characters, which I don't really appreciate. Or am I going to be totally 360'd when I think my sister has the film on DVD. I'll probably go over and check it out. Until then, I enjoyed this book. It should be for schools, I think. Or it is maybe a mandatory for schools to have this to read. I don't know. All I fucking read was The Outsiders, and anything else I can add to this? It's a great book. Great kind of. You can see all of the whole mythos about how vampires of their powers of materializations and mists and transformation into animals and like come from here. It's a great book. The characters are fantastic and deep, and I wish I really went to a book club and had this book and just have endless conversations with friends, because this is a must-read. I got it from LibriVox.com. I'll probably maybe send a link when I do. Download it, listen to it while you're grinding or playing a video game, or just simply got nothing else better to do. Okay? Hope you have a good night, and keep your magic wafer with you. Bye.